Hello lovelies, I hope you're doing well. Today I'll be taking you through a flow that I like to do during that time of the month when I'm experiencing that PMS, just to get rid of any built up tension and general uncomfortableness in the body and the mind. Today all you'll need is a bolster or some cushions or anything that is nice and soft, maybe a duvet. If you don't quite have a bolster, you don't necessarily need a mat, just a quiet space to do your practice. It can even be on the bed. When you're ready, we're going to start by straddling whatever prop you're using today. So today I'll be using a bolster. So come towards the back of your mat to start with, and bring either knees and either shin to either side of the bolster. Rest the hips down. If you're finding this is quite uncomfortable, particularly on the knees, feel free to stack any cushions or any props that you're using, just to bring those hips a little bit higher. You want this to be comfortable in the body. If this is really uncomfortable in the knee, particularly if you've got any knee problems, feel free to release the legs out. So you're sitting on the bolster with feet on the ground. So find what's comfortable for you. Once you have, start to close the eyes down. If for whatever reason that doesn't feel good today, just have a gentle gaze to the tip of the nose. So you're just bringing that focus inwards. We're going to take a few moments here just to connect with our breath, connect with ourselves. Consciously deepening the breath. And maybe really bringing your awareness to it by following the breath in through the nose. Follow it down the back of the throat, into the chest, filling up the lungs. And then following it back out in the opposite direction. So feel the lungs deflate, the air goes back out, up through the throat and out of the nose. Bringing some stillness and some comfortableness to the body. Try to drown out anything that is not in your immediate space. That may be noises, it may be sounds, lights. Today's practice is going to be quite restorative and yin styled, yin inspired. So it's not about building up heat, it's not about sweating. It's just allowing some time for you and your body during what can be an extremely uncomfortable period, both mind and body. Now for me, when I'm experiencing PMS, I know I like to tense up certain parts of my body, particularly to try to avoid some of that pain that I may feel. I feel like tensing sometimes might help. So if you are like me, I want you to work your way through the body, and on every exhale, just release any muscles you do not need to hold on to. Let's not add any extra tension to what our body is already making us feel. Relaxing the frown, relaxing the jaw, shoulders, hips, thighs, the arms and the hands, including the fingers. We're going to be here for 2 more breaths. Really try to sink in to your bolster. Really nice. Feel free to keep the eyes closed. You do not need to open them, but it's also an option if you do want to open them. Bringing the hands to the thighs if they weren't already there, so palms flat onto the thighs. We're going to take some gentle cat-cows here to warm up the spine and the back. Inhaling, lift the chest forward. Gaze comes up slightly. We're going to take these nice and slow. And then as you exhale, bring the chin down towards the chest. Tuck the belly button back towards the spine, around the spine. Inhaling, bring the chest forward. Really drop the head down the back, shoulders drop away from the ears. Exhaling, go the opposite way. This might feel quite nice, particularly if you tend to get some lower back pain. 2 more in your own time. Depending on how you feel today, you may also want to take circles with the spine or maybe go side to side. Work through the tension that you have in your body and what's right for you. Last breath here. Really nice. And then just return the spine back to neutral. If your feet or your soles of the feet was flat on the floor, just come to find yourself on your shins. Otherwise, everyone lifting themselves up so that the hips are stacked above the knees. And then walk the hands out in front of you so you're in this tabletop position. Walk them slightly further so they're just further out than your shoulders. And then lower the elbows down towards the floor. So your forearms are on the floor and we're in this half puppy pose, sticking the bum in the air. Hips are still over the knees. Shoulders over the elbow. And we're in this gentle pose again just to wake up the spine, but we're not going too deep. If you are actually on your period at the moment, I would advise keeping your head and gaze going forward so as to not to lower the head, particularly as we have a little less blood in our body. So we don't want to do anything to that blood pressure. We're here for 2 more. Really allow the belly to drop towards the floor. I don't want you to hold on to anything in particular here. I don't want you to try to force that chest towards the floor. This is just a nice gentle release for the back and the hips. Again, if you want to take some movement here, absolutely fine. Feel free to take some ripples through the spine. Otherwise, just staying in stillness for one last breath. Really nice. When you're ready, gently push the cushion or bolster back slightly so you have some space. And then bring yourself forward so the front of the body is laying on the surface, your mat, your bed, wherever you are. And elbows and forearms are still rested on the mat. We're in here in this Sphinx position. So we're slightly opening the back a little bit more without bringing too much tension or too much force. Again, I really like to do this because my lower back in particular, tends to play up during PMS. And this is just a nice way to release some of that tightness that I face. If you want to go further, feel free to guide that left knee up to the side of the body. So the inner thigh is pressing into the floor or the bed. And you're trying to get the ankle in line with the knee. So it's this 90 degrees angle. Again, this is really nice to release the hips and open them up a little bit. Relaxing the gaze, relax the shoulders. If you find that your mind is wandering, return back to that breath. Again, maybe follow it. Alternatively, you could add some counting to your breath. So as you inhale, in your head you count 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeating that over and over again. It just allowed you to bring that awareness to your breath. Keep it there. And stops the mind wandering a little bit. If your leg is raised, shifting it back down. And you're going to go on the opposite side, so raising that right leg to even out the body. Again, you want that ankle in line with the knee. Trying to make a 90-degree angle. If you've been in Sphinx for a while without raising the leg, feel free again to make some movements. You may want to bring the forehead to the floor. and introduces some rises. Again, bringing some movement here. Wherever you are, we're staying here for 2 more breaths. Last one. Really nice. When you're ready, if your right leg is up, just going to shift it back down. Place the hand under the shoulders to allow yourself to guide yourself back onto your knees. And we're just going to shift the weight forward so we can arrive on our bums. Bring the soles of the feet together, making sure your bolster or your cushions is at your lower spine. And it's completely up to you how you feel today. Have a play around with the position with the feet. So some of you may want to sit a bit closer into the body. Some of you may wish to have them a bit further away. So it's more of this big diamond shape. Wherever you have found, slowly start to roll down the back to find our Supta Baddha Konasana. Really allow those knees to drop out to the side. Feel the weight. Pull them closer towards the floor. Again, close the eyes down if that's comfortable. And really allow the whole spine to melt into the cushion. Allow the cushion, or whatever you're leaning on today, to fully support your weight. There is no need to hold on to any muscles. If you want a little bit more of a stretch and opening in the back and the chest, feel free to grab hold of the hands and release them over the head. There's a nice opening in the shoulder. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here. And I want you to notice how much the body gently opens the longer we're here. Body learns to trust the position. Slowly starts to relax. More and more. If your hands are overhead, slowly bring them back so that they're landed on the belly. Bring the knees together so that the soles of the feet are flat on the floor. And feel free to keep the cushions or whatever you're using underneath the back. And lift the knees up towards yourself so the shins are parallel to the floor. If that's uncomfortable, particularly if you've got quite a few cushions underneath you, just move it out the way so that your back is flat on the floor. Bracing yourself with the hands flat on the mat. Then slowly guide the knees over towards the left. Just a little bit of core work here. Bring them back up to center. Guide them over towards the right. And center. If this is really uncomfortable, particularly if you experience cramps, feel free to just place them to one side and hold. And then switch when I tell you to switch. Otherwise, continuing to follow me, rocking the knees from side to side. Again, we're just trying to bring some looseness to the back. Every time we drop the knees down towards the floor, opening the lumbar spine a little bit. Your knees are staying on the ground, swapping over to the opposite side now. If you have been swaying from side to side and you want a bit more stillness, feel free to pause on one side. You have options here for what's comfortable for you and your body. So whatever you're doing, we're here for 3 more breaths. back to center. Wrap the arms around the shins. Give yourself a big squeeze. Feel free to lift the head off the floor. If you want to give yourself an even tighter hug, say thank you. Thank the body. And then release the head back down towards the ground. Release the grip that you have around the shins. And then slowly roll over towards your right side. And we're just going to take a moment in fetal position. I'm going to do the opposite side, so I'm not facing, my back's not facing you. And we're just going to spend some time here. Again, really allow yourself to sink into wherever you're laying. Trust that it will support you fully. Now you can either stay here, or you can make your way to Shavasana. Whatever option, again, remain in stillness. Feel the weight of your body on the surface. Maybe take another scan, similar to what you've done at the beginning. And every exhale. To stay here as long as you need. Otherwise, gently rolling over to fetal position if you're not already there. Making your way back up to seated. Maybe take a moment here before you head off with the rest of your day.